Okay, so who wouldn't want like a cheat sheet for building wealth, right?
Mm.
I mean,
Mm.
that's kind of what we're looking at today with these 6 laws of wealth.
Yeah.
It's like a roadmap to financial freedom.
Yeah. It's a pretty, it's a fascinating approach.
Yeah.
Instead of getting bogged down in all like the complexities of personal finance and stuff,
Yeah.
it gives you these sort of like guiding principles
Right.
to focus on.
And we're interested in like the fundamentals of wealth creation.
Right.
And these 6 laws of wealth seem like a really good starting point. But
Uh,
I think we want to go a little bit below the surface and talk about like what are the specific principles that these laws are trying to emphasize
exactly.
and how can we actually apply them to our own personal financial journeys.
Yeah, absolutely. So, why don't we jump right into it and start with the first law, which is
Yeah.
save at least 10% of everything you earn.
Simple, straightforward.
Yep.
I feel like this is the kind of advice that we hear a lot,
Yes.
but don't always follow.
Very true. But the real power of this first law is the consistency.
Okay.
It's not about getting rich quick. It's about that discipline
Yeah.
of developing that habit of saving.
Right.
That really sets the foundation, for long-term wealth creation. It's kind of like building a strong financial base, brick
Yeah.
by brick.
So it's less about like, winning the lottery and more about creating a sustainable system.
Exactly right. And you know what that consistent saving does? It allows for the magic of compounding.
Oh, yeah.
And to really work its wonders, It's like a snowball effect. The
Right.
money that you save it earns interest,
Okay.
and then that interest earns interest on top of it, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Over time, that can really lead to some significant growth.
Compounding. It's almost like having your money work for you while you're sleeping.
Exactly.
I like that. So speaking of putting money to work, law number 2 states, put your savings to work for you.
All right.
So what exactly does that entail?
Well, this is where investing comes in.
Okay.
It's about, taking those savings that you've been diligently setting aside
Right.
and putting them into assets
Okay.
that have the potential to generate returns. Now, those assets could be stocks, it could be bonds, could be real estate.
Right.
It could be starting your own business.
Yeah.
But the key is to find a way to make your money work harder for you than you can simply by earning a wage.
So it's not about just like parking your savings in some low-yield savings account.
Exactly.
It's about really actively participating in the growth of your wealth.
Exactly.
Okay. So law number 3 states the poor pay interest while the rich earn interest. That's pretty straightforward.
It's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
But you know what it does? It highlights that real critical importance of
Okay.
understanding and managing debt.
Debt, that's the big one.
Debt can be a major obstacle to building wealth.
Okay.
When you're in a situation where you're constantly paying interest on loans, you're essentially, losing money
Okay.
that could be invested and
Right.
growing.
But isn't all debt bad, though?
Yeah.
I mean, we hear about good debt,
Right.
like a mortgage or student loans.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It is really crucial to differentiate between debt that can actually help you build wealth
Okay.
versus debt that just drains your resources,
Okay.
right? So, mortgage can be considered good debt if it's leading to home ownership, which is an appreciating asset, right?
Right.
But even with that good debt, it's so important to manage it wisely
Right.
and pay it off strategically.
So it's all about being like smart and strategic
Exactly.
with our finances.
Right.
So law number 4 gives us a warning. It says, beware of get-rich-quick schemes.
Right.
And I think we've all seen those tempting ads
Oh, yeah.
that promise overnight riches.
Absolutely. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
Totally.
And this law really emphasizes the importance of making informed decisions. Not chasing those unrealistic returns.
Yeah.
It's about investing in solid businesses that you understand
Right.
and avoiding those really risky ventures that could, quickly evaporate your hard-earned savings.
So do your research, be patient, and make informed choices.
Exactly.
Now, law number 5 shifts gears a little bit, and it says, invest in yourself. And this seems to go beyond just managing money.
You're absolutely right. This law is emphasizing that your greatest asset is you.
Okay.
By constantly investing in your knowledge, your skills, your personal development, you're increasing your earning potential.
Okay.
And you're creating more opportunities for wealth creation.
It's like that saying, the best investment you can make is in yourself. But what does that actually look like in practice?
It can look like anything from acquiring in-demand skills,
Yeah.
getting additional education or certifications. It can be attending industry conferences or even, building a strong personal brand. It's all about consistently seeking ways to enhance your value in the marketplace.
So it's about becoming the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
Both personally and professionally.
Right.
And finally, we have law number 6, which states safeguard your wealth. So what are the key principles here?
Well, this final law stresses the importance of protecting what you've built. And two key ways to do that are through diversification and insurance.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Diversifying your investments
Right.
across different asset classes, helps to mitigate risk. And insurance, which is often overlooked, provides a crucial layer of protection against unforeseen circumstances like illness, accidents, natural disasters.
Yeah.
It's about having a safety net to prevent a single event from wiping out, your hard-earned wealth.
So these 6 laws really do seem to offer a pretty comprehensive approach to wealth building. But it's important to remember they're guidelines, not guarantees.
Absolutely. They highlight these fundamental principles that when they're applied consistently and adapted to your own individual circumstances, can set you on that path towards financial well-being.
And it's kind of fascinating to think about, these principles, while they're focused on financial wealth, how they can be applied to other aspects of life as well.
That's true.
Imagine applying the concepts of saving, investing, and diversifying to your time, your energy, even your relationships.
Wow, that's really powerful. Maybe that's something for you all to think about.
Yeah.
How can you leverage these principles to create a richer and more fulfilling life overall?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for having me.